Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 2020 Academy Spring Playoffs. We got Cloud9 Academy taking the lead over TSM Academy. Rivington Biz in the third here, along with Barrento Raz Muhammad. Are you ready for this next game, Raz? It's getting spicy here. I figured there'd be some temperament from the teams for the past, or being tempered for the past few games, but they are just button heads.
They're going for it. I love to see it. I say that way too much, but I just
you love to see it.
That.
I mean, sometimes you hate to see it. This time, you love.
There's love. Only love. Going into this game, the adaptation is going to be side selection. That is going to be TSM going to red side. They chose red side. This is the first time that a team's actually done this for me in Academy, because blue side has actually just been the favored pick for a reason. Like, you get to have your first choice on the trade that you would make, either set and you can look to flex that, but that hasn't been a thing this series, or Ornn, but that's failed. Last game, Silas and Cassidy was picked so they can punish on side lanes and just steal his ultimate or his stats as well, because Trundle was the pick there as well. Another thing too is, even though we're talking about the solo lane counters, another reason why red side is strong was support counter pick. Yuumi was given away and it was super valuable on red here. So TSM now wants an opportunity to play it and take that away from Cloud9.
And wouldn't that be the thing if they did get a chance? We'll probably see it banned here. But we'll see. Ornn has been the first big priority pick coming into each of these games, while we see Set being banned here on the blue side. Usually that's the final ban. Obviously TSM knows what Cloud9 is trying to do, so will they answer?
It just means that they're trying to knock heads in team fights. Set's been a great champion. I still think if you know how to flex it both bot and top lane, and if you're a strong enough team of playing side lanes, Set's the best. He should be first picked. But the fact that these teams have kind of done a gentleman's handshake and just 5v5 team fighting, he loses value. And so now we're seeing, once again, Ornn being left up for Aphelios, it seems. I don't think this is a comfortable trade that TSM wants to opt into, because then Cloud9 could just get Aphelios first pick, give Ornn away, and then play the Silas thing again. Let's see if TSM bans Aphelios.
They're thinking about it. They're like, what is the bigger evil in this situation? Yeah. You know, I mean, the bot lane has been playing safe, but that doesn't stop Aphelios from being able to do things in fights. You know, the Ornn's always going to be prevalent.
Varus, MF are available. Both of them have been fine, have been good.
Leave it all up.
There we go. They want the trade. This is the first time that the trade has been given. So this is actually one of the more ballsy adaptations in this series. So Cloud9 should go Aphelios first pick. They should give the Ornn away to TSM and have gone back to what made the last game so special for them, which has been Silas. Maybe when they go in 4-5, I don't think they should pick it up early, but try again to push TSM on side lanes and still opt into team fighting.
The schedule and standings as well. We look at what these games can mean. It looks like that the Ornn will get picked up. Speaker's wondering. They've been letting Speaker's jungle go a little bit because he's got such a big champion pool. It doesn't really matter what he does take, but they feel good on the Zoe. Evolve's saying, you know, he had a lot of impact plays on that LeBlanc, on that Cassidy. I want back in there to do the same. I'm going to show up in mid.
I was going to expect to go AD answer, like an MF, and then last pick support. But I guess they wanted to get their double pick on bot lane, and also they just have a high value on the Zoe pick. Zoe's just been a pretty damn good pick for TSM so far. I think TSM, like, Evolved has looked great with Zoe, so the confidence is there. That also means that 4-5, TSM are going to drop Treats' pick here. And going up against Braum, you can do so much. And Treats has actually been a really creative support player. So that means, like, Zillion is a possibility. Bard has been the go-to versus Braum Aphelios. Like, Braum Aphelios has a bad laning phase. 2v2, they don't provide much DPS or shove at all. So it leaves your support to pick anything they want.
See how they play it out. Steal 2 more bans here. And we got to remember, if we look back at what the Zoe did for Evolved, I mean, he was 3-0 on it. I think that was the only problem, and that's not really a problem, right? It was just the fact that all their damage was on the Zoe. So yeah, get it back in the game and just.
It's definitely a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
I'd take that.
We see the Silas
Take
being
that.
locked out there. That did prove very useful for Fudge on the top side. We saw him and Stokely just solo killing each other as they were going for punch. Diamond is going to have to watch his Thresh get banned from his own team. His Streets, he also has a nasty hook.
Yeah, so I like the Silas ban for the same reason that we talked about. Now, I would say Gragas would be a good... no. I'm talking about Cloud9 banning Gragas, but I think it's just a bad combination for TSM to have. So you just leave it open. Yeah, I think TSM should just... Oh, they already banned GP. GP, I don't think it was that valuable of a ban, but I think they just want to make it easier for them to fully engage in fights. And something that people don't really value as much, or like fans get to see a lot of, is GP Ultimate, when used as a zoning tool, makes it so hard for tanks to like push forward. Like in that case, if they're going up against a GP in this fight, in this game, and Dokla was engaging, he would just be isolated for a good 2 seconds as GP Ultimate has slowed the rest of the team down. So for that idea, I guess it makes it easier for TSM to fully engage.
They cast it in again? I mean,
he's going into Zoe.
Look at this team they have. The crowd control is dazzling. Good luck, right? So, I mean, the pick looks good to me.
Yeah, like you're right. I mean, in terms of just CC lockdown, it's going to be a little harder for Tariq to get him down. And on top of that, it's a good matchup for Cassidy. It's not going to be as easy as last game, but certainly it's a right situation to place him in.
And that Aatrox that was banned could get locked in. They're looking for a jungler on the side of TSM still. You don't have to go to Trundle. You can put a little AP in there, but you got a ton from Zoe already, so you might be able to go something to not... I don't know. What is it? Ooh, the double livability. They're going for, you cannot kill us because we have Cosmic Radiance and Lamb's Respite. So, a lot of trickery here and a harder execution comp, I'd say, from TSM with what they're looking to try to do, but I still think it's neat.
Yeah, most teams would go for J4. Oh, well, no, but like Cloud9 had taken...
Right.
I was kind of blanking out there. Because if they had gone J4, obviously you have all the wombo combo necessary. In this case, TSM was thinking that there aren't really that many strong, engaged junglers that they can go for. Kindred is just a really good matchup into the J4. And on top of that, it's going to be hard for Cassidy to find the same team fights he was in the last game. If he ever dips into a fight, he's staying there. And so it's a good pick, but it's a shaky one. You're on that tightrope. You better have a good early game, otherwise you're going to be useless.
Right, we have to remember there is no Yuumi to be a catalyst for all the members on Cloud9 this game, so it is going to be a much different showing. Nonetheless, they are on game point, and whoever wins this series is going to go on to face Evil Geniuses in the finals. So we will be right back. We're going to take that 5-minute break for competitive integrity before we get into the game to cast it live. Don't go anywhere. We're back. So are you. Welcome to our homes. Raz, you got a beautiful home. This is great. I'm glad you could let everybody in.
Get out. Leave.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the 2020 Spring Academy Playoffs. I'm Riv. That's Raz. We're about to get into what is Game 4. If you have been missing everything here, and this is going to be game point for Cloud9 Academy. TSM was able to come in and sweep game 1, Raz. It looked like they had everything down pat, and they knew how to get under C9's skin. And C9 said, no, we know exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think, C9 have gotten much more comfortable after the first loss, right? In the series, they were able to understand that a lot of the mistakes that they've been making were more so like just how they were playing out team fights. And of course, like some picks they've changed to be a lot more able to play out fights a little better. And it's been paying off really well. Also, they've been a lot more cool and calm. The last game that they had was pretty rampant. And I think Inori actually really focused up going into the last game. So seems like we're at match point. If Cloud9 is able to have the same performance they did last one, it should be an easy cleanup, and TSM is going to have to be the one that changes, how they operate.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't the end time, but at one point I did say 39 kills at 32 minutes last game. So
crazy.
Hopefully we get that here again. It's always fun for the play-by-play, and we'll get everyone back to lane. Diamond looking fantastic in his delicious candy skin.
One thing I want to point out coming into this one, Cassidy. So
yep.
Reason why Cassidy's been tough to play a lot of the times, like throughout every different meta, has just been laning phase. Being able to punish him early on, and even if you don't get a kill on Cassidy early or put him significantly behind, you have Prio in lane, and you can get dragons, you can get bot lane turret. Like, if you can speed up the pace of the game, Cassidy has a real tough time. What we've been seeing here, Zoe has a little bit of a tough time doing that, and what we're seeing is him kind of looking to scale alongside with him. Cull is something I've been seeing a lot more frequently in picks, AP picks going into Cassidy. Not only do you have auto attacks, you can kind of hammer in them, Palafox, you have the range advantage that's working for you. You have life on hit with the Cull as well. So it makes it easier for you to sustain throughout. And you get a nice, 300 gold, 350 I think actually, once you're able to hit 100. So it's nice. It's a pretty passive lane, so you can get away from it. Get away with it for free.
As long as you don't get ganked too much. Assume that happens. Yeah. Like I said, though. Probably won't see too much action there. We haven't really in either of our games is the bot lane. It's a little back and forth. Severum able to dish out the damage as a follow-up Calibrum shot. He's going to go ahead and take treats down to 200 HP. And this is the early laning phase of Aphelios, always having Severum and Calibrum and just able to win those early game fights. A little bit of an overshield. Great cleanse coming out, expecting that flash dazzle. I think Treats might have started that a little early. Let him know it was coming, and the gank will not come through for Spica.
Good, quick respect from King to instantly cleanse from it. Also, he has Nimbus Cloak, so he gets the extra bit of movement speed that stops Treats and Lost's advance. So, Spica was looking for a gank, had no chance of being able to get it. He's going to try again, though, because he has a cut straight to the red side jungle, but he will meet Inori.
Oh, that's a fight. I was going to say, Diamond and King, if they were any closer on that retreat, may have been able to come in pretty strong on that one. They're still going to try to go for the fight. Severum is on. King actually gets locked out of that, so he's not able to use it right away. You only saw a small shield coming up from it, and Treats is going to go down to start this one off as Cloud9 still has the defense. Braum is still amazingly strong early as you're tagging on that crowd control, and they follow up with another kill. Palafox gets a kill at 3.5 minutes on the mid lane Cassidy, but it's not over yet. A vault is going to come down here, and like we said, blood has been in the water since game 2, and who is going to get more this time? A Drowsy onto Palafox. There's the dash forward stand beside the minion to tag on that crowd control, and Evolved has to flash to pick up another one. They're sitting all over the place, but it doesn't mean there's a fight to be had.
Emotions are starting to run high here. TSM getting frustrated that the plan is not working out. In any world, this is over pushing it. Treats, if he gets this done, who's actually going to follow up? Lost is getting nowhere near Inori, and Spica is miles away. This was just objectively a bad engage coming in from TSM, but they lose a lot for it, and Cloud9 double down and are able to get the kill on Spica as well.
Yeah,
This is a rough start to the series, or at least the final game, it seems, like quote-unquote final game, right? It feels like that with how this game has been going for C9.
Sure, I think we remember in Game 2, TSM had a similar dive bot. Came out on top, and we almost said that's all they wrote a few minutes in. I love it that it's happening so early and may not decide the game. Here, C9, after a win like the previous one, you got to give them a little more advantage with that fight happening early than we saw in Game 2. So, can they keep it up? 1,000 gold lead here to start. Palafox getting a kill is disgusting. And you can see Evolved already. He's like, you know what? Don't want that. Can we get something top lane? Can I get something right away? And it's not going to happen.
It'll be tough.
Yep.
You don't even have that much mana on Dokla either, so getting that wave shoved in is going to take forever, and you'll lose the wave mid. So it's good that TSM decided to call it off. I will say, remember, in this very series, I almost called it for Cloud9 in one of the earlier games when TSM had a huge early game lead. Yep. This series is back and forth, so even with the first 2 kills going over to Cloud9 and this dragon, anything is possible for TSM to ring this one back in.
I like it. It's been going both ways here, and once a team has the power, we see them, you know, give them an inch, they're taking a mile. There's no hesitation here. TSM was able to do that in Game 1. C9 taken mile after mile since that first game. And coming into this, as we said before, we have to remember TSM lost both of the head-to-head. So to see them come out so strong on C9 was impressive. And it just seems like Cloud9 was able to say, hey, we know why we lost. We can be more aggressive, and it takes them off guard from being able to get that front foot through the door. And not much has happened for TSM since. They're getting good fights. We know they're still good in those 5v5s, and that's where they're able to pick up a bit more. It's just if Cloud9 can, again, set the map up a few steps ahead, even if they're losing fights, TSM doesn't get much out of it. Here, TSM sets the map up. Look at this wave crashing in. The autos, the brittles applied, the flash coming in as well from Fudge, and an expected death, and he goes down. He'll be able to teleport back to lane. Executed. Hashtag worth in the chat.
Yeah, it feels bad.
It feels bad.
Zoe thought that the minion wave could come in so he can drop aggro. Wasn't the case though, but still, you want to see that dive come through, and it was executed very well to get the kill on the Fudge. Fudge even lost his flash because he thought he could outplay it. So you might even see a comeback here coming in from TSM. Once they get mid lane sorted, they can run right back for a top lane dive once more.
The vision has been placed down towards that mid lane to keep Evolved safe. We'll see what they can do towards top. Trying to keep track on Kindred's marks at the moment. Maybe behind on that this game, but I do believe he may have gotten one already going through that early scuttle grab game. 7.5 on the clock, as we're just still about 1,000 gold lead here for Cloud9, so nothing has changed too much, but we are waiting for 30 seconds. That Rift Herald already getting a bit of vision, and a ping coming in from the side of C9 to say, hey, we need to get some eyes on this now.
Now, you were talking about the marks earlier. Thankfully, he was able to get the mark on Aatrox when he killed him. And another thing, too, is that he's on the right side of the map. The fact that he has control topside and a Gromp was able to spawn with that mark, he can get... I don't know if he wants to over-index on that side of the map because J4 is coming up. Let's see. This could be where the fight ends up happening.
He wants it. The mark is seen.
He's going for it.
You have a ward?
Eat the mark.
Oh! Did they see each other? Yeah, they saw it.
Yeah, they saw it.
One saw the other, so they had to have seen each other because the sweepers would have been that same distance. So, unfortunate that will be grabbed. But they had a good eye on it. So, a good call on the Aatrox mark, though. So, it definitely helps for Kindred to get up to mark level 4, get a bit of that extra range damage, and then she's really a threat, especially being able to hop around all of her abilities. Fudge not having too bad of a lane, 60 to 66 here, and knows he's going to have to keep himself safe after that first gank coming in. TSM starting the game off strong.
All right, man. Looks like, you know, TSM is starting to at least get Kindred back on his feet, because after the bot lane gank, a lot of the times, if you're a Kindred in that kind of a matchup, it starts going against you. Like the red jungle item was picked up by Inori immediately after that, so at that point, you can't even take advantage of the matchup. You're just farming while your lanes get pressured pretty heavily. But, you know, Speaker's been pretty active in getting Dokla a small lead here. They will still lose Rift Herald, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Looks like that was the intention of a kill onto Fudge towards the top side. Dokla switch Unsealed Spellbook to Ignite. He got a little bit of help as well from the jungler, and they tried to go onto Fudge. World Ender was used. Not too much otherwise. So good that his flash was down and he's still able to hold that aggression, keep it at bay. A slow push here on the bot side is just kind of piling these minions up. Looks like they're actually going to get it in here. Never mind. Infernum's out. He's going to try to back. Let's see what King buys up.
Yeah, they want to base. Next wave is going to be cannon as well.
Late base?
So they do have a lot of time.
Demolish.
Okay. Yeah, they can get a plate off of this. As I said, next wave is going to be cannon. So they're completely fine on basing. In fact, I think they're actually stuck. Dragon's going to be coming up in 30 seconds. So that'd be a bad back timing for them. So even if he doesn't have mana, they need to fight for this.
Oh, that's huge. They just got the ultimate out of Lost. If they can live here and keep themselves pretty safe. Diamond did take a bit of damage, so that's the part they're not feeling great about on the side of C9. This actually should just be a walk-up to Drake with the amount that came through after Unbreakable. So overall, really nice execution by TSM. I don't leave it past Cloud9 to want to go back in here. The teleport's coming in. I don't think that TSM expected that one on this play. And now it's going to be Palafox here in the fight. Remember, he got a kill early on this. Diamond goes for the stopwatch down. Speakus cannot stay in any longer to get that kill. And there goes Lost. Treats now turning tail. Evolve's coming down, but he's only got about 10% of his mana bar there. Can he hit the right shots? King's going to miss. And he's going to dodge out on that Drowsy. And now it does go down with the Ignite follow-up. Evolve trying to do so much. And he is able to come up with a kill, walking straight into the face of danger.
Palafox was so close to getting a triple off that fight alone. And it was a good call from Palafox. Doesn't even care with how low King and Diamond were in the fight. He just saw a great angle and just took advantage of that.
Double kill, or a single kill rather, solo gold here coming from him. Everybody leaves him alone, so you easily tell with the priority, the gold income, where they want it to go here, because Palafox can run away with this game. No, remember, we said no, not no, but hardly any crowd control to fully lock this Kassadin down. It's all execution, and you have to hit it to get him. There's a kill topside, and it's Brittle, baby. Fudge is going to be able to take down, or sorry, yeah, Fudge goes down, I should say, to Dokla as we keep getting switched and forth with who's Ornn here.
Look, regardless of how this series has gone for TSM, Dokla's been having a great series. Like, his Maokai game was pretty damn good.
Heck yeah, that dodge.
His Ornn performance. Yeah, even double Ornn performances where I feel like he's been able to just get the best of Fudge. It's nice to see it because a lot of times resources moves away from him, but, you know, he's coming up trumps these days.
Yeah, he is. Everybody thinks you're going to go down a situation or be able to not do too much on a certain champion, but man, the Poppy, the Maokai, he has been going back into the index to figure out what he wants to play next. Nori?
At least with this early game has been favoring him because Spica and Evolve did play pretty heavily to get those dives off. But man, he's been making the best of it. It's nice to see. But Cloud9 will be able to. Let's see what the next dragon is. I have no idea.
The Ocean.
Oh no! Cloud9 on match point are now 2 dragons away from an Ocean Soul.
With a Kassadin. Who's going to be able to stay in that lane wherever he goes, basically forever with Soul. Uh-oh. Palafox clean up on aisle top, please. And there's another one. 3-0-1 for the Kassadin.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Wonderful. It's all according to plan. And there's nothing that TSM can do on the opposite side of the map. The way bot lane was too far out. Zoe also, I mean, it was a nice way that she was pushing in, and Kassadin will lose a little bit of it. But, I mean, that's an extra kill. And top lane turret for Cloud9. Well worth the trade.
Still got that mark for Spica, but it's on the top side of the map still, all the way on the other side. It's going to be tough for him to get. Fudge is going to push out bot. And this is kind of where we saw C9 last game, where now this is the point they set up. Even if TSM comes back in and fights, all they're dealing with is a wave to push. They don't have a turret to approach yet. C9 is starting to be steps ahead, items ahead as well. We're going to see what they can pick up. Essence Reaver for Lost, as it's going to be a big build up here for King trying to get his Infinity Edge and to synergize with everything. So we'll see how they do. It should still be a much stronger fight with Palafox just being so gigantic right now.
Yeah, the tale of the tape here for Cloud9, at least for this series, has been they've been trying to play to side lanes, regardless of if they wanted to 5v5 straight like front to back team fight or not. Like Palafox has been playing side lane champs versus Zoe's, and Fudge has been trying to play away from Ornn. He's been trying to pick the counters to it, and they've been getting better and better at it throughout the series. So now Palafox, who has a huge lead because of the teleport that he had a little earlier on, can just play on sides. He's already right now top lane. That's his home. He's been there for the entire series. And either Lost or Evolved will deal with that wave, and so it forces TSM in a misnumbered fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough for TSM to start playing for Dragons on an Ocean Soul.
And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to look at as we came out of Champion Select. Now that we're in the game, we can look at it a little bit more, is that this composition from TSM has so many needs to execute right. You're going to see Dazzle coming. Cosmic Radiance has to hit at the right time. You got to Drowsy somebody. Ornhorn has to hit. Lamb's Respite has to be at right. If there's so many things, and while they're pros, Cloud9 are pros at knowing that's coming, dodging those things, making the fight tough. So that execution level for TSM makes it so tough for these fights. Grouped up. Oh, it's going to be huge. The shock and awe fight from Cloud9. And that is going to wipe TSM off the map. But wait, the Cosmic Radiance comes down, and now C9's getting hit. This is going to be the rebuttal coming in after the bullet time, but they still find the damage onto Treats. It's going to be the World Ender, and the ender of this fight, a possible pentakill for Palafox on the second game. Kassadin, they're waiting, bated breath, and there it is, the pentakill.
Got him! And what better way to put an icing on top of the cake of the series than FLICKR literally just slamming them with a pentakill on the Kassadin.
This was an initiation with so much needing to happen for TSM. It was just a few buttons, and then the hit coming in from the team. Fudge and Anori at the same time were in that Cataclysm.
That, for me, the MVP of that fight was for sure King. King getting a 4-man Aphelios ultimate on Gravity Gun made it so easy for J4 to just get him inside of that Cataclysm. And from that point forward, even the Kindred ultimate coming through, doesn't matter, man. You lost the fight. You're way too low at that stage to protect yourself from the Kassadin. And he eats that up.
Rest of the team taking Polaroid selfies with Palafox as he gets his pentakill in the playoffs. That's gonna feel good. You haven't played for a week or so, and you come in and you get a pentakill.
Need a little bit of warm-up, but got into it pretty damn easily. Man, Palafox has just been such a damn strong performer throughout. And so getting a Kassadin once again, let's see if TSM could push back on this one.
Ooh.
But it's getting hard, man.
Dokla wanted it there. Fast fingers from the Kassadin gets him out alive. Palafox hooking around the outside, saying, where's the entry point? Can I get to Lost right now? Dokla can't stand there too much longer. Unbreakable comes up slightly late, making C9 health bars look a bit tastier. This is going to allow TSM back in.
Look at Palafox
going out, and they don't have full vision of where C9 actually is. Palafox to the back line. Now into speak as he gets himself over the wall. That's a double kill coming in for Palafox. Palafox, 7 kills in the past 2 fights for him, and now he's going to get 8 of them, possibly 9. Another one coming out, but Diamond's going to give him a little bit of an assist on that one as he might have gone down.
Please ring the bell, man. We have another Bala Ace. Please just throw in the towel.
This is getting tough. You know, you think about it, how many times can you come back with your base being pushed in? How long will it take, right? Those steps ahead that I said C9 was placing themselves, and you give TSM 2 fight wins at the current state of the map, and they have top lane turret, right? The minions aren't there. Nothing is in their favor, and Cloud9 is putting on a clinic for this final game to show why they should be in the finals against Evil Geniuses.
Take a look at Palafox. Just look at him. He sees an angle instantly. The moment exhaust comes down, he's like, ah, perfect. Get me around the back door. Like, the fact that this chunk came through from Aphelios too also helped out. Had an angle on the Lost at the moment the Cataclysm came through, right on top of them. I was concerned about his HP bar, but no. They literally don't have a way to answer him at this stage of the game.
He's rifting around, dude. He still basically has full mana. That was his 3rd rift. Back right up, and again, the kill, resurging that mana. He's playing it perfectly. He's getting the resources he needs. He's now 11-0-2. which puts him at 13 kill participation. He only missed 2 of what was happening on the map all game.
He still doesn't even have his Roa fully stacked in his Seraphs either. Like,
They got time for that.
Yeah, he's probably going to end the game before that gets stacked. Baron's going to be coming up soon, and at this stage, you got to respect it.
They are able to take just about everything. And a series, again, we thought would a lot come down to the bot laners. We talked about how big King and Diamond were and Lost in Treats, how much they had been stepping up. And it started to play out of the mid lane. Once we saw this Kassadin, it started to play out of Palafox because LeBlanc wasn't even that much of a focus. So C9 changing that dynamic throughout the series of the game as well to be able to focus from Fudge top as he played well, focus from Palafox and keep it switching.
Yeah, and when a series starts to get dictated by not just the player's performance, but also just like all the champions he's been throwing your way, strong counter-picking champions, then you have to be able to adapt. TSM tried. They put themselves on red side, but they still found so much value in Zoe. And I think that's what's going to bite them, is that they were on 4-5 and they wanted to counter-pick support and jungle. And still throughout Zoe there, when Palafox is saying, oh, well, I still have the Kassadin picked regardless of whether or not I have Yuumi. So he was still able to counter-pick mid and is starting to really show his strength.
Low pushes now. It's like Palafox can just kind of size up whoever's there. If they've been there long enough, all right, we're solo, I'll take you on. This is his role now. 700 gold bounty, 850 overall standing golden bounties to be taken by TSM.
It's also been another, I mean, it's a great game from Inori as well. I think Inori throughout the series has been able to find great angles to engage. I mean, his J4 has been pretty damn good. In the game in which they should have lost, quote unquote, on his Rek'Sai, he found opportunities back in with his picks. Palafox is going to get picked here, though. Okay, you know, I lied. Don't worry about it. No, are we throwing everything at this boy?
Ooh. I like it. This is one of the reasons why Lost is one of my favorites, because he does stuff like that. Remember talking about his Baron jump into the pit, but no vision runs. It's something I can get behind sometimes. It's good. I like it. It doesn't favor competitive play, but I like it. Top lane is Fudge. He's going to be taking this turret down almost by himself. His shot's about 25% on it right now, but he will probably be back to attack and make sure that goes down in his favor here, just doing some krugs while he waits. The rest of the team setting up vision around Baron. At this point, not even a 50-50. There's a lot of things that would take would need to happen to take Cloud9 down. And I think it's funny we talked about Evolve being 3-0 and not wanting all your kills on one person. I feel like that's a different factor when you have an 11-0 Kassadin. I think that's an okay thing.
Yeah, he's level 14 right now, 2-level advantage over Evolve, and it's obviously the biggest advantage that you have on the map. I mean, there's a 1-level lead on King and Inori, and at this stage, you need to get fully stacked. He already has his Seraph's Embrace. TSM is drawing out their battle lines, as you can see on the top right side jungle. They want to defend that control ward, because if they ever lose it, then they're just giving away Baron for free. They can't do anything about it at that stage. They have no eyes on where the Kassadin would be, so they're trying to draw the line somewhere. But while they're so focused on the Baron buff, Cloud9 is going to get a free Cloud Dragon. And remember, soul point on C9. So they need to fight for this.
Over the wall, Inori almost takes the Cataclysm. Just Doklu is standing there, like, just hanging out.
Look at Palafox, though.
Slowly,
his eyes are on the fight.
Creeping in. I want to see how we get Lost in Treats to tuck themselves in. A 4-man Cataclysm. Treats can't even get in the fight. The help. Cosmic Radiance coming down. Is it going to be quick enough? They can't follow up with more damage. Cooldowns are there. Here comes the heal and the follow-up from Cosmic Radiance now, but TSM is still getting shredded. Doklu is able to take 2 on the bottom side of the fight. Now that C9 member's going down, as this was the fight TSM needed. Will it be the way they needed it to end? Fudge is trying to do what he can here towards the top. Is Diamond Doklu doing what they can. And then it's going to be Dragon getting a little bit of help here. Maybe Diamond can get that onto his opponents, but he's just going to use the back brush to get himself out. And TSM take a fight. Now, we expected this could happen, but again, look at where the map is. They're not going to be able to move too much. These are them chipping away at all the steps that C9 put into place already. and we'll see what happens. Fudge going in, misses the first Q, trying to get the next Darkened Blade, and a third one to go, but he's not going to be able to hit it. And now Diamond and Fudge not in a good spot. Nori's coming out as fast as he can, but he's going to watch his teammates go down as TSM bring it to 17-11.
Nice fight from TSM, and a perfect exhaust when Palafox came into the fight to isolate him. Usually, at how these fights have been going, by the time in which, Cassidy is already engaged, members of TSM are already chunked. But they had played it perfectly to disengage. The ultimate from Treats has actually put them at a pretty good HP point, but oh no.
Oh my word. Wait, they're going in. Aphelios had gone towards the bot side of the map, and they're going to try to fight this one out. Palafox getting a double kill already. Holy crap, he's going to do it! They're going to kill them all! It's going to be a 2v5 in the Baron Pit. A possible, another Penta, but he finally goes down. King's able to represent now, throwing down the crescendo, and he picks up the last 2 kills. You have to be kidding me, Raz!
He got Zonias, and he got cojones, man. Like, I just goes into the fight ready to burn him. I love Palafox, man. This is his game to shine.
That was absurd. Playing the unexpected card through and through. Cloud9 continue to beat down on TSM. Full chuck rooms. He's just going around taking down camps now. But if TSM isn't expecting 2 men to engage on them, then they're not expecting what to do in the resulting fight where 2 could kill 5.
Like, the difference between that and the last fight in which they had failed, Palafox didn't have Zonia's the last one. He had components for it.
And he's got a stopwatch now too, so we can double up.
That's true. That's true.
But keep going.
Yeah, he's got that. But like in that one, he had J4. He had the ability, like knowing that Treats didn't have ultimate on that one. Like, he could stick around. Zonia's is so damn good for him just because now he's waiting for his next cooldowns while he's in gold. So, good stuff coming in from Cloud9 to be able to rein the game back into their favor. And now you can see him going up top lane wave. You have to deal with waves being pushed into you as TSM. They had that one opening. The door shut right, closed on them again.
It amazes me. There's games when you know you're ahead and you know you can crush. But in a 5v2 that you know you can just continuously outplay is amazing. We talked a bit about it. We'll bring it up again. Palafox knows there is limited crowd control on TSM. So 90% of that fight, he would run free. That to him triggers the fight and win.
He's got everything again. He's got Zonia's. I mean, he already has Lich Bane.
Yeah.
That's fine. And he's got Sarah's shield. Any fight that happens, he can just go straight into the middle of the fight again. Lost doesn't have flash. Like, Evolved and Lost will die if they get Cataclysm by Inori again. The game could end in about 30 seconds time if C9 wants it to.
Yeah, with the way they can light the fuse, it's so absurd. It's just a shock and awe fight every time. And TSM, like we said, have to get that Cosmic Radiance down. Spica can help with Lamb's Respite to help that come along in time, and then they can spread for the fight. There's options, but the options are small and dwindling at this point. Looks like Spica's going to be the one that they are connected to with Treats. He's going to be the one diving around between that. They can get Cosmic Radiance and hopefully make it something the entire team can work with. Doku's going to have to join in or decide what to take as Fudge pushes bottom. And top is getting taken down by Palafox. Ornhorn blocked from the back and far enough out. A lot of times that's how you kill the Braum, but there's no follow-up on the fight, and TSM is reaching at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Matumbo finger wag coming in from Diamond. Not allowing the Ornn ultimate to pass by them. This could be the fight, though. TSM don't want to fully commit yet.
Yeah, they didn't get an engage they wanted. Happy to take that much HP off of the tank.
Cassidy is taking their inhib.
I mean, you got to keep your eye on the ball, right? Palafox is the ball, and he is just somehow on the other side of the court. Nobody's even bouncing it. It's just like this ghost working on its own. That's exactly how you don't know how to play around it. It's freaky. It's spoopy, Raz. The Count Cassidy is just as spoopy as it looks. And we'll see this Fudge and the rest of the team coming in now. And Nori staying on the backside, so TSM can't technically see him. Doesn't know where this giant Cataclysm is going to come from to initiate the fight for your flank Palafox. Now inside the base, they have full vision there. Doka still hasn't got to the fountain for a little bit of heal yet because they just need the presence. They need to be able to stare Cloud9 in the face and show them they're serious. But Cloud9 is quickly able to call that bluff and takes down all 3 inhibitors.
Disciplined play coming in from C9. Like, Palafox just didn't have mana, so he doesn't want to overreach. But game ends now, if TSM doesn't do anything with Soul Point here. Cloud9 has an easy dragon. It's uncontested.
Yeah.
This is just going to be a Hail Mary from TSM. Wait a minute. Hello? Hello? Kassadin teleporting.
Full domination here. He's going to zoom out. So he knew they were out of the base, and then he gets them to pull back. So TSM can't even set up a bushwhack outside the base. If Cloud9 were filing in one by one, they were pulled back to their base by the one man in this game. Not the only man. Obviously, the team is behind them, but the one man that can make it happen. 15, 2, and 5 here. Participated in 20 of the 22 kills on the Rift. Full omnipresence from Kassadin and Palafox. And looks like they're going to get the last bit of resources here, Raz, and see what they can do about TSM Nexus.
And to set the stage up, if you're TSM, you want to fight, you press tab, you look at the items being picked up from C9 side. That's 3 stopwatches. Maybe I'll add 4 because it's stopwatch Zonias for Palafox, right?
Yeah.
So, like, really the only option that you have is a Braum, and that's a bad option. Or, you know, or you're going for a Nori who has Stoneplate. Let's see if magic can happen here for TSM.
Creating that surplus obviously makes it so hard for TSM to get in. Ornhorn block front side. They try to just dazzle the Braum. It was already executed, but they're going in for the fight, and it seems to be a bit discombobulated here for TSM as there's a Cataclysm coming down. A lot of Cosmic Radiance and safety from the Lamb's Respite, but it's going to be good night for TSM as Cloud9's able to take the fight. Another double kill for Palafox, looking for a 20 bomb on this game, but there's just not enough members of TSM alive to make it happen. They'll chase them out of the base as Dokla says, walk this way, but it's only because they want to pad the KDA. That's going to be Cloud9. Look at the Nexus turrets. Raz, 30 minutes into this one, they wanted a statement game to finalize it, to push themselves to the 2020 Spring Academy Finals, and they will try to mastermind and take down evil geniuses on the Rift during the finals.
Statement game, statement series, and a career highlight moment for Palafox.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
Like, that is a moment that you'll look back on and say, that's when things change. That's when a lot of good stuff happened. Like Palafox, yeah, like Palafox had an insane moment this series where he took the game on his shoulders and ran with it. And it's not just a one-man army. Remember, it's a team play.
Yeah.
And I think Cloud9 really set him up to succeed well. Kassadin is really hard to play solo. But if you're playing as a unit, you know how to play around him early. Later on in the game, if you can allow him to isolate the map, put him up in the top side of the map, I think Cloud9 had played really well. And it shows that a split full of work, you know, cultivated. It turned into something. And now you set your solo laners up to succeed because Fudge and Palafox looked wonderful because of it.
And really great game from TSM as well. They came out swinging. They came out strong. It just seemed like Cloud9 was able to say, oh, we understand what they're doing from game to game, what they need or don't need in Champion Select. And even giving the Ornn back, taking the Braum, taking the Ornn to win games. They switched it up. They weren't saying one thing wins for us. They were swapping what TSM was using as well. And sometimes that pitches you into a bad spot, right? You say, oh, we just need to take that away. And Cloud9 was methodical about it all. TSM was as well. We saw in their pushes, they were coming through. Both teams were playoff form. It's just Cloud9 showed why they were at the top of the split this season.
For sure. There are levels to this. And I think development always matters. So, like, the teams like Evil Geniuses, TL to a certain degree, and certainly TSM, they developed. They got a lot better and made it so teams had to respect them in playoffs time. EG still rolling, and they're still looking dominant. But Cloud9 saying, no, we've been there. Like, we've been that team throughout the entire split, and it's looking good for that squad. I think Cloud9 coming into it will look like the obvious favorites, but it's always that question mark in the finals when it comes to, like, well, how good are Evil Geniuses?
Yep.
Because they really leveled up. And Cloud9, I mean, it's going to be a tough challenge for Gyu because Cloud9's Palafox, dude, he made a statement.
Absolutely, and we saw them coming in to the Dignitas game, Evil Geniuses, that is, you know, getting that full fight, getting the run of the trial, so they're coming in knowing what works for them, what doesn't. That does help to be able to get through the series, especially with somebody like Gyu as he comes in from Fire and see what they can do. And a lot of what they had on the Rift was pretty nasty, seeing the ADs mid and seeing the way they could flex things. I think Evil Geniuses do have a master plan, and hopefully it is enough to challenge the contender, or I should say the top team in the Academy Spring of Cloud9.
Yeah, that's what I love about best of fives is it's a game of chess in the draft. In this series, I honestly think Cloud9 won that game because they showcased that they were adept at being able to play through side lanes, and so Kassadin, LeBlanc, all of these picks were available for them, and they were comfortable playing it. And so they could play on both blue side and red side. I don't know about evil geniuses. We need to see a little bit more of them. I think they're a great standard team front to back team fight. They do have great picks like Vayne for definitely, that's for sure. But they need to be able to deal with Fudge and Palafox in the mid game, and I think that's a real challenge that they need an answer to.
Absolutely. It would be really great to see a new org coming onto the scene and being able to put up that kind of representation as well, even on the LCS stage. Now, for myself, Raz, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be sure to catch you more as the LCS playoffs continue coming up in the next few days. Don't miss it. Take care.